Fascist USA! No cops! No KKK, no fascist USA! No cops!
Deportation threat looms over Palestinian activist. Is supporting Palestine now a crime? A legal battle is unfolding in U.S. courts over Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian student at Columbia University who has become a flashpoint in the Trump administration's immigration policies. The U.S. government has officially opposed Khalil's attempt to secure temporary release, while U.S. District Judge Jesse Furman in Manhattan has issued a temporary order blocking his deportation until a scheduled hearing on Wednesday. Authorities argue that the judge lacks jurisdiction to rule on the case before determining whether he even has the authority to intervene. Meanwhile, Khalil's attorneys contend that his deportation would set a dangerous precedent for suppressing free speech, especially as the case raises critical questions about the fine line between protected expression and alleged support for groups classified as terrorist organizations by the U.S. government. Former President Donald Trump, who has vowed to deport foreign students involved in pro-Palestinian protests, claimed on social media that Khalil supports Hamas. However, his administration has provided no legal evidence to substantiate these allegations, and Khalil has not been charged with any crime. His lawyers insist that he is a mediator and advocate for Palestinian rights, and that his activism is protected under the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Columbia University, which has witnessed large-scale protests against Israel's military campaign in Gaza, has acknowledged that Khalil played a key role in negotiating with the administration on behalf of demonstrators. Protesters have called for the university to divest its $14.8 billion endowment from weapons manufacturers and companies that support Israel. However, his arrest last Saturday by U.S. Department of Homeland Security agents outside Columbia's student housing has sparked widespread outrage, with rights organizations and members of Congress condemning it as an attack on civil liberties. The controversy has ignited protests across New York City, with hundreds of demonstrators taking to the streets chanting pro-Palestinian slogans. Several protesters were arrested after police ordered them to clear the streets. The United Nations and multiple Democratic lawmakers, including Palestinian-American Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, have criticized what they see as an abuse of power to silence dissent. Danny Katch, an English professor at City College of New York, called Khalil's arrest a very alarming escalation in an already disturbing assault on civil liberties. Legal experts have pointed out that while Judge Furman has the authority to order Khalil's release if his rights were violated, deportation proceedings could still continue in a separate immigration court. Khalil, a Palestinian who was raised in Syria, arrived in the U.S. on a student visa in 2022. He completed his master's degree in public administration at Columbia's School of International and Public Affairs in December and is set to officially graduate in May. According to his lawyers, he was granted permanent U.S. residency last year, giving him constitutional protections, including the right to free speech. Despite these legal protections, he now faces the imminent risk of deportation in a case that could reshape discussions on civil liberties, immigration policies, and political activism in the United States. As the court battle unfolds, his supporters argue that the Trump administration's crackdown on pro-Palestinian voices represents a dangerous step toward criminalizing political dissent.